Here's how to make your own forever flip-flop. I call this a forever flip-flop because the body of the flip-flop is made out of conveyor belt, which has a nice tread that I have worn these flip-flops so often for a couple of years, and they're not worn out at all. You can see that some of the inner tube strap goes below the sole, which you wouldn't ordinarily do this with other materials, but with the bicycle inner tube, if it does wear out, then you go find another inner tube and make new straps for yourself. So this is how it looks from the top. You can see that the thinner inner tube goes down and then overlaps, a twist, and that really makes a much better fitting flip-flop. And then you can see from the side, I put this clip so you see it more like how it would look on the foot. It goes around the back of your heel and then has a little bit wider band that goes across your instep. I imagine there are lots of materials that you can make this sew out of. You could just use a flip-flop when the little button on the bottom pops up out of it, and you've got this sole. You can add straps like this, or other kinds of slides, slip-on kinds of sandals. If the upper becomes damaged, then you can use this. I think leather would work if it's thick enough, or different kinds of sheet soling that you might have access to. So after cutting it out, and I can put some patterns, a link to some patterns on this video. I use chisels to make this opening. So to make the slot in the long direction, and then this 1/4 inch chisel to make the slot in the other end. And of course I had a rubber mallet or a heavy mallet to hammer through this material. This conveyor belt is really terrific. It has a really nice surface, kind of nice fabric feel to stand on. So you don't have to do anything to this soling to make your flip-flops. After I've made the slots, I'm pulling the inner tube pieces through them. This one is 3/4 of an inch wide, and the one that goes over the instep is a little over an inch. You can vary this one quite a bit if you make a big enough slit, or a smaller one. So you just poke the inner tube through the other slit, and then keeping in mind that you're going to cross them over, and you might want to cross them the opposite way on each foot if you care about symmetry. And then I have this one going over the instep. Now I'll show you how to fasten the ends in a way that is adjustable. I have now inserted the inner tube straps and crossed the toe strap over and left this side shorter than the other side. And I might want to make this side even a little bit shorter so that the join between the two pieces will be partially hidden or protected inside the instep strap. So this strap is about 22 inches long. On my foot, I wear a size 8, and this one is this is 13 inches. So around I've added 2 inches to the ends of both of these for the overlap. So I've got these crossed over, and I want to bring this long end into this shorter end. So the shorter end's on the outside of the sandal. I'm going to cut this just a little bit. I'm going to cut it so it's half the width of the strap. And now I use that opening to be able to pull this end into that one. I'm going to show you this process in reverse. So this is what the join between the two ends looks like on the instep strap. So here I've made a square knot with a little strip of inner tube that I cut, and I've punched holes, about 1/4 inch holes, with a rotary punch in both ends of the straps. What happens is that I put this strap inside of that strap, so I have to cut an opening that's it's the full width of 1/2 of this end of the inner tube. So I fold this up and get it in there, and then punch holes so that I have two close together that I can take that little strip through. And since this is for a customer, I'm not sure how long the instep strap should be for this person, so I've made several sets of holes so this could be drawn through further if it needed to be tightened, and then this end can be cut off so that it's not sticking out so far.